Thank you for coming. I want to introduce Kathie Pruden.
When I was discussing this with Tala, her and I had kind of a multifaceted discussion, as always happens when we're talking, and in me in particular that I'm learning. And we kind of talked a bit about the whole concept of rape culture. And I kind of wanted to split that up because rape has its own definition, which brings, it's a violent force of violation. Culture, on the other hand, is defined as common values, common beliefs, common practices. So why then are these two words put together? Part of the whole philosophy and meaning behind rape culture is that sometimes we feel we're silenced and we don't have words to stop, as Tala said, what's going on. And so as part of this, Tala is helping us to bring voice, to say no. It's not okay to teach my sons that they can do what they please because they're boys. It's not okay to teach my daughters or my granddaughters that that's okay. An example that we use when we're teaching boundaries and working with survivors is when a child comes and auntie and uncle who they don't want kissing them and hugging them, but we say, oh, come on, come on. No, respect those boundaries. The child is saying no. We too have to say no many, many, many times in a day, men and women. But that's the way we're instilling to them that they can say no and that we will protect their no. I just want to read a little something so that there isn't gender in this topic, because sexual abuse and sexual assault happens to all genders. But I just want you to go on this little journey with me and come and have some tea. This is all about tea. It seems people really have a problem understanding that before you have sex with someone, and that's every time you have sex with them, make sure they want to have sex with you. If you're still struggling, just imagine instead of initiating sex, you're making them a cup of tea, which is a true Indigenous way. You say, hey, would you like a cup of tea? And they go, oh, I would love a cup of tea. I would really love a cup of tea. Thank you. Then you know they want a cup of tea. If you say, hey, would you like a cup of tea? And they, I'm not really sure. Then you can make them a cup of tea or not. But be aware that they might not drink it. And if they don't drink it, then this is the important bit. Don't make them drink it. You can't blame them for you going to the effort of making the tea, and on the off chance they wanted you to just talk and not have tea. Just because you made it doesn't mean you are entitled to watch them drink it. If they say, no thank you, and then you make them the tea at all, don't make them tea. Don't make them drink the tea. Don't get annoyed at them for not wanting the tea. They just don't want the tea. They might say, yes, please, that's kind of you. And then when the tea arrives, they actually don't want the tea at all. Sure, that's kind of annoying, as you've gone to the effort of making the tea, but they remain under no obligation to drink the tea. They did want the tea at the beginning, but now they don't. If they are unconscious, don't make them tea. Unconscious people don't want tea, and they can't answer yes or no, I don't want tea, because they're unconscious. Okay, maybe they were conscious when you asked them if they wanted tea, and they said yes. But in the time it took you to boil that kettle, brew that tea, and add the milk, they are now unconscious. You should just put the tea down, make sure the unconscious person is safe, and this is the important bit, don't make them drink the tea. If someone said yes to tea, started drinking it, then passed out before they finished it, don't keep pouring it down their throat. Take the tea away, make sure they are safe, because unconscious people don't want tea. If someone said yes to the tea around your house last Saturday, that doesn't mean that they want you to make them tea all the time. They don't want you to come around unexpectedly to their place and make them tea, force them to drink tea, but you wanted tea last week, or to wake up to find you pouring tea down their throat, but you wanted tea last night. Do you think this is a stupid analogy? Yes, you all know this already. Of course, you wouldn't force feed someone tea because they said yes to a cup last week. Of course, you wouldn't pour tea down the throat of an unconscious person because they said yes to tea 5 minutes ago when they were conscious. Whether it's tea or sex, consent is everything. This is about respecting boundaries and by using our voice. And for many of us, it's been a struggle to use our voice for various reasons, but it's also the teachings of all people, all genders. No means no. No is a sentence. No means no. Some of the other things that Tala and I had talked about was kind of the skirt shaming and fear. I'm Métis, I'm not First Nations, and I mean, something I was told was it's not appropriate for me to wear a ribbon skirt because I am not First Nations. I've had other wisdom installed in me since, but teaching everything and everyone and every part as a gift, a lesson, but also in respecting their meaning and gift about that. Tala shares with you that she used her spiritual ways and her healing journey to go on and help other people with her message. Her strength has been incredible, but she gains that strength from people like you that are interested in hearing and that take her story on, just as our grandmothers did and our grandfathers. So just a couple things about the whole rape culture part. It's only us that can make those changes. And I'm calling all of the men and women, boys, girls, two-spirit people, now's the time to start using our voice in a positive way and start saying no and start respecting the word no. So with that, I'll be around later if anyone has questions, or I've got some cards and information. Thank you so much, Tala, for, this is a difficult topic, but as you can see, we reach out for tools that we need, and Tala has many of them. She's got lots of gifted people in her life, but she's truly a gift as well. Hi, thanks.